Free your mind. Free your mind. This episode is more of an explanation of some of the things that I've been talking about in all of the other episodes, because I realize that some of you are actually watching my videos, but maybe not understanding what I'm talking about. Or you're watching it and you're brushing some of it off as though, well, you don't understand this particular person, this particular thing, this, that, and the third. The reason why I started this, the reason why I can talk about these kind of things, is because I have learned to get past the fluff. There's a lot of fluff that society shoves down your throat. Maybe you're not picking up on it, so let me be more specific about the situations that I could be talking about. And I'm just going to go through the motions here. How many times, if you're at a certain age, how many times is it that you go and visit your family and your parents are like, so when are you getting married? When are we having kids? Or do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? Or you're out with your friends and you find yourself to be that third wheel, that fifth wheel, that whatever number wheel. Or you're out with your friends and they consistently want to push this person or that person on you. Now, before you say that you don't care or that that doesn't affect you, that's just one aspect. That's just your friends. Let's talk about films, where love and romance seem extremely serendipitous. They seem easy to come by, as if the cosmos smelted these people together and there was no decision making involved at all. Let's talk about music. Tove Lo, any other love songs that you want to go on and on about, or what's her name? Don't even remember her name, but The Heart Wants What It Wants. Selena Gomez, her recent song, The Heart Wants What It Wants, as if physiology defines your choices, physiology defines your actions. No, it can heavily influence them, but ultimately you make the choice. You make a choice. So free your mind. Free your mind from all of the influences that you have around you and take things at point blank value. If somebody says they love you, but they consistently don't want to spend time with you or consistently don't want to do the things that they know makes you happy, actions should follow the words. Some people say actions speak louder than words. Sometimes I wonder if you understand what each action means and what words you even yourself are saying. Do you understand yourself? Before you worry about what your boyfriend is doing, what your friends are doing, or anybody else is doing, have you taken the time to understand yourself? Have you taken the time to find out what it is you really want? If you say to me that you want a bad boy, okay, let's break that down. What is a bad boy? Somebody who owns a motorcycle, somebody's got tattoos on his face, or somebody who's got tattoos all over. Does he have a full sleeve? Does he have one or two? Where are they? Where are they located? What about that attracts you to them? Oh, I don't know. One thing I've learned, and this doesn't apply to everything, but in the context of what I'm talking about, when people say, I don't know, it feels like 90 to 95% of that is I don't care enough to find out. So I am challenging you to go and delve into the things that you don't really think about. When you respond, I don't know, is that because you've tried and you really can't find the answer, or because you don't want to figure that out? It's too much work, it feels too laborious, or no, you're in your head too much. That's not the case. Try to analyze the world around you, understand what is going on. Otherwise, you will find yourself in these same situations all the time. You find yourself dating the wrong guys or the wrong girls. Why? Have you spent time to sit down, look at yourself, and understand what it is I like about somebody? I want a crazy girl. Okay, what is a crazy girl? Is she the girl that's popping splits, doing dances in the middle of the cup? Okay, maybe that in and of itself isn't a bad thing. Well, how does she act outside? But when we go out there, is she continually flaunting herself? Is she showing everybody her things? Does she want attention? Or does she care what you think or what you're doing? Does that make any sense? We can boil this down even further with if you're about to embark on a relationship. So let's talk about the honeymoon phase. This is good. During the honeymoon phase, a lot of things happen and they happen fast. And so I feel you. There's a bunch of rising emotions. You're excited. This person is the most interesting thing going on in your life in that moment. And say you had just decided to become celibate, or say you've just decided some new thing and they totally go along with it. That's great, but the question is your resolve that strong? And if it is, are they really there for the long haul, or do they think maybe if I suck this up for a few weeks, they'll be all right, we'll move past this and we can go on? Always take into account that you may have things going on. You may have baggage, but the other person does as well. So if you're coming from a troubled relationships, it should make you skeptical about what's going on around you. Does that mean it's impossible to meet somebody that you can love? Absolutely not. But you should take the mistakes that you have made in the past to learn from. I like bad boys. I like boys with tattoos. Maybe I like boys with tattoos over their faces. But the past couple of times I've dated these guys, this was going on. That was going on. Do I see any similarities with this person that I'm about to start dating now? Why do I like that particular thing? Does it show that they're a rebel, that they flaunt authority, or they flaunt society, or they flaunt this, or they flaunt that? Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. But realize, do you yourself also flaunt society? Do you yourself also feel differently about that? Is that something that you guys can bond over? Or is this something that is just setting the foundation for fights in the future? These are all things that matter. These are all things that matter. They just, it's interesting, and I want to leave part of you with this. If you look at examples of where people win the lottery, they get a whole bunch of money. If you notice, many of them end up committing suicide or have really debilitating problems after winning all of this money, when most of us could only imagine winning that amount of money and we think life would be set. One of the things that happens is that much money only exacerbates what was going on before. So if you had a problem handling money before, if you had a problem drinking or doing any kind of drugs or doing whatever things that were your vices or were your shortfalls, all that's going to happen when you go from an income of $40,000 a year to now you own millions of dollars, you're going to expend a ton of money. You're going to go wild. And why not? Because that's been your lifestyle up until that point. Now, if you make a conscious decision that, you know what, this is what I've been doing, so let me do something entirely different, not try to keep some element, no, entirely different, will I get different results? So run an experiment. Same thing with boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. If these were the small things that you wanted to ignore during the honeymoon phase, if you've decided now to move in together or to get married, you are now in close proximity with this person every day. So the problems that were already there before now are more exacerbated. Now you see them as a big, big problem. When they were a problem when it started, you just wanted to ignore it because maybe they were the first person in a while. Maybe they made you laugh a different way that you hadn't laughed before. Maybe they were just interesting enough to where, you know what, you don't understand. This person makes me feel. No, I do understand. People make me feel things all the time. But that doesn't make me chunk my brain out the window. I use my brain too. And just because I love you, and just because I think it would be interesting to be with you, and I may love things about you, do I love you? That's what I leave you with. Good day.